it feels like a lifetime ago at this point, but it was April of that year, I think April of 2018, that Trump sent out the first tweet at the time, basically launching a trade war with China. And what the Fed discovered 1 year later was, in fact, the CPI had fallen. It was, I believe, 2.4% in 2018, and by the end of 2019, it was 1.8%. So we actually saw inflation decline, and the Fed discovered that the bigger economic impulse, if you will, was the slowing in global trade that was causing layoffs and a slowdown in economic output, and that was the greater force on the American economy. So the Fed knows that tariffs slow down trade to a greater extent. And if you look at real-time economic indicators, even all the way to super core inflation, which Jay Powell created out of thin air a few years ago, and that is services inflation net of energy, food, housing, I want to say, but it's a pure read on services inflation. And we just got the first negative print in years. The pandemic notwithstanding, we just got the first negative print since the Great Recession of 2007, 2009. And so the Fed is seeing, in no uncertain terms, with home prices turning negative month over month. S&P, Case-Shiller, as well as FHFA, they both saw home prices decline month over month in March. Shelter's the largest input to the CPI. So we're seeing disinflationary forces take hold, and yet the Fed is standing pat saying we better be vigilant about fighting inflation just in case, while Rome is burning, while layoffs are increasing, while most Americans anticipate rising unemployment in the coming years, and CEOs and CFOs are absolutely sitting on their hands and either firing people or delaying capital expenditure plans. So these are all hallmarks of recession, and they're universally being ignored right now by Jay Powell and Federal Reserve officials.